Welcome everyone to the Moisky News for July the 13th, 2020. Today I thought we'd have a look at the Brexit Party, because yes, much to everyone's surprise, they still exist and in fact have many politicians. Most of whom though are currently sat at home with their P45s collecting dust and pensions. But those that are active are predominantly involved in the Welsh Assembly, in the, I believe it's pronounced Senedd. The Senedd is actually the Welsh Parliament. It is also one of the most eco-friendly buildings in the UK. I know this because they bragged about it. Then again, when you compare it to all other parliamentary buildings of devolved administrations and then the UK Parliament, you realise, of course yours is. Yours has only been in existence for a couple decades. Parliament's been around for hundreds of years. It's not like they built it with the intention of cavity insulating the walls. Double glazing all those windows. Mark Reckless, yes that is his actual name, is the leader of the Brexit Party in the Welsh Parliament. Insert your Mark Reckless jokes here. He wants, desires, craves for devolution to go much further than it already has, with him proposing that there should be a directly elected First Minister, along with getting rid of the members of the Senedd. I think it's the Senate. Welsh Senate. Even though he himself is one of them. That's interesting. They're called MSS, by the way. There was a barometer poll in Wales. It was a multiple choice questionnaire. This questionnaire was put to the people as a means of trying to ascertain what the Welsh people wanted. They had 4 choices, and it came back quite inconclusive, because 22% support abolishing the Welsh Parliament. They must be the English living in disguise. 24% support leaving the settlement as it is. 20% want the Senedd to have more powers. And 16% support Welsh independence. I originally wrote down here for 22% supporting abolishing the Welsh Parliament because they're English, the other 78% were busy outside tenderising their sheep. But then I read the rest of the article and realised, it was multiple choice, my mistake. To be honest, this result is inconclusive and doesn't really help frame any argument made by Mark Reckless. But, while speaking to BBC Politics, he said that under his plans, the directly elected First Minister would be scrutinised by Welsh MPs, which, if anyone's cottoned on already, is an indicator that he would desire for a parliament akin to that of the UK. Even Scotland has First Minister questions. To be fair, Welsh Parliament does as well. It's not great. There's like 5 people in a room. They look like they're sat in a rather large lecture theatre playing on their tablets. He was questioned on having the Senedd and its members in addition to MPs in Westminster, and replied by saying a lot of people who haven't engaged with devolved politics now see the powers this place has, and many of those people would prefer to be governed on a UK basis rather than having things done differently in Wales just for the sake of it, as so often has been the case under Mark Drakeford. Mark Drakeford, for those who don't know, is a Welsh Labour Party politician and has served as First Minister for Wales and the leader of the Welsh Labour Party since 2018. Over the last 2 years, he has taken a considerable amount of flack for mismanagement of funds and the damning statement that comes from their NHS. His regular excuses for all of that being, but we need more money, and it's Boris's fault. When Mark Reckless was questioned as to whether or not Nigel Farage is at all involved in Welsh politics, he said that Nigel Farage is consulted over key decisions, but he does not micromanage us here. Mark Reckless also indicated that he has not ruled out a potential rebranding of the party, which has been reported by a number of outlets in the past. The reason for that is for the obvious. Brexit has already happened, therefore the party should change. But a symbol of what the party stood for and why it existed, to me, should stay. So perhaps the name should stay, as a reminder of what can be achieved if one simply steps up to the plate. They were a protest vote, but now they need to legitimise, so at the same time I can understand why they would want to change their name accordingly. But in truth, I'm on the side of, nah. The Brexit Party in Wales has also been very critical of the UK government's coronavirus lockdown measures. And when asked if he believed there should be another Wales-wide lockdown, Mark Reckless replied, "We think it's much better to trust people's judgment. The individual knows best. I think what we'll see is that many people will stay at home. But the idea that you tell people how many times they should exercise, I don't believe there's a science for that. I also believe that interference with people's lives is so great when the evidence is so very limited." Since the Brexit Party's only existed for just over a year, I am quite impressed how much they managed to get done. And the fact they've still got politicians, since I had honestly believed the majority were in the European Parliament and thoroughly enjoyed collecting their limited salary for the few months they had a job before they decided, sayonara suckers, while waving their Union Jacks. And I'm a little bit surprised Nigel Farage is consulted on anything. Since the pubs have opened, I'm expecting most of his responses to be quite inebriated and questionable at the best of times. With what has happened and the fact the Brexit Party still exists, I'd like to know what you think. So please do let me know in the comments down below. As a final thing, I shall be streaming on Twitch tonight. If you are at all interested in watching some casual gaming and a pleasant chit-chat, link will be in the description down below.